The Kennecott D900 was making that sound again. Not the bearing. I'd replaced those last month with SKF units, good Swedish steel, but something in the hydraulic pump. High-pitched whine every third rotation. I'm standing there in shaft 7 with my clipboard, 70 feet under the Bonneville Flats, and all I can think about is whether Tommy ordered the replacement seals like I told him Tuesday. My name's Derek Holloway, safety inspector for Intermountain Mining, 12 years. Used to work the rigs before my knee went bad in 2019. ACL tear never healed right, so now I walk tunnels with a flashlight and a bad attitude, making sure nobody else gets hurt doing the job I can't do anymore. Not the career trajectory I planned at 23, but the insurance is decent and my son Jamie's got his braces mostly paid off. He's 14, plays JV basketball at Wendover High, which is how I know everything about knee injuries now. Derek, you seeing this? That's Vic Brennan, shift foreman, coming up behind me with his hard hat crooked like always. 28 years underground for Vic, and the man still can't keep his PPE straight. I've written him up 4 times this year. He ignores every citation. Seeing what? The hydraulic pump that's about to grenade itself because Tommy didn't. No, man. Over here. Vic's pointing his headlamp toward the new expansion, Section 7 Delta, where they'd been drilling test cores yesterday. The company wants to push deeper, always deeper, because the salt veins run thick down here and Intermountain's quarterly earnings depend on tonnage. I've read the geological surveys. We're sitting on a formation that's been sealed since the Pleistocene, salt deposits older than most mountains, compressed under pressure that would turn a man into paste. I follow Vic's light. The tunnel walls down here are smooth, machine-cut halite glittering under our lamps. Beautiful in a way if you like that sort of thing. My ex-wife Rachel used to collect those salt lamps from Himalayan mines, paid $40 each at some organic grocery in Salt Lake. I told her it was the same damn mineral we pull out of the ground for $3 a ton. She didn't appreciate the comparison. That's probably why she's my ex-wife. But this is different. The drill site they'd opened yesterday, the core sample section where they'd punched through to a new cavity, there's something growing on the walls. Not growing. That's not right. Crystallizing. Salt formations blooming out from the drill hole like frost on a windshield. Except these crystals are thick as my thumb, perfectly clear, and they're spreading across the tunnel wall faster than salt has any right to spread. That wasn't there at shift change, Vic says. I walked this section at 6. Clean walls. The 7:45 now. 2 hours for maybe 30 square feet of crystal growth. Salt doesn't do that. Salt forms slow over years, over centuries. These crystals are different too, not cubic like halite should be. They're growing in branches, like tree limbs, like bone tissue, reaching across the tunnel wall in patterns that make my eyes hurt if I look too long. We need to shut this section down, I say, already pulling out my radio. Get the drill crew out of. Derek, Tommy, and his team are already working the expansion. Went in an hour ago. An hour ago? Jesus Christ, Vic. This whole area should have been cordoned off until environmental testing. Company wants the expansion complete by Friday. Regional manager said, I'm not listening anymore. I'm walking toward Section 7 Delta, past the crystalline growth, toward where Tommy Vasquez and his crew, 4 guys, good workers. Tommy's got a baby girl named Lucia, just turned 3 months, are operating the boring machine in an unventilated expansion tunnel next to whatever the hell this crystal stuff is. My radio crackles. Holloway, this is surface. We're getting weird readings from your depth monitors. Weird how? Air composition's off. You're showing elevated sodium chloride particulate, like someone's running a salt sprayer down there. I stop walking, reach up and touch my face. My glove comes away damp. Not sweat. It's cool down here, always 58 degrees, but moisture. Salty moisture. Condensation forming on my skin, on my coveralls, on every exposed surface. The tunnel walls are weeping. Vic, when's the last time you saw condensation in a salt mine? He doesn't answer. He's staring at his hand, at a small cut on his palm, probably from handling equipment, the kind of minor wound you get 10 times a week underground and never think about. The cut is filled with salt, not dusted with it, filled. Crystal formations growing in the wound itself, tiny and clear and multiplying while we watch. That doesn't hurt? Ask. No. Feels cold. Like frostbite but without the pain. Should hurt like hell. Open wound plus salt equals pain. That's basic biology. But Vic's just looking at his palm like it's mildly interesting, like he's discovered a strange bug, not like there's mineral matter growing in his flesh. I grab my radio again. Surface, this is Holloway. Medical emergency. Shaft 7. We need. The radio dies. Not static. Not interference. Dead. I check the battery indicator. Full charge. The thing just stopped working. From deeper in the tunnel. From Section 7 Delta where Tommy and his crew are drilling. I hear the boring machine shut down. The sudden silence is worse than the noise. You work underground long enough, you learn that silence means something's wrong. Men working make noise. Machines make noise. Silence means stoppage, means accident, means somebody's hurt. Tommy! I'm yelling now, moving toward the expansion, Vic following behind me. Tommy, you copy? My headlamp catches something on the tunnel floor. Footprints. Fresh boot prints in salt dust, leading from 7 Delta back toward main shaft. Except the prints are wrong. The tread patterns breaking apart, crystallizing as I watch. The boot impressions filling in with new crystal growth that spreads across the floor like ice forming on a pond. We round the corner into 7 Delta. The boring machine is stopped mid-cycle, drill bit buried 3 feet into the wall. Tommy's crew, all 4 of them, are standing motionless around the machine. Just standing there, not moving, not responding when I call their names. I get closer, shine my light directly at Tommy Vasquez. His skin is translucent, not transparent, translucent. I can see the shadow of bones underneath, see the outline of muscles. His exposed forearms, he'd rolled up his sleeves for the heat of drilling, are completely crystallized, fingers frozen mid-reach toward the machine controls. But he's not frozen. His chest rises and falls, breathing. His eyes move, tracking toward my light. His mouth opens like he's trying to speak, but nothing comes out except a wet grinding sound. Like gravel in a garbage disposal. All 4 of them, different stages. Tommy's the worst, maybe 60% crystallized. The youngest guy, Pete something, he's only showing it on his hands and neck. But it's spreading. I can see it spreading. Slow but steady, salt crystal growing across human flesh like frost crawling up a window. We need to get them out, I'm saying. Vic, help me. I reach for Tommy's arm, try to pull him toward the exit. His crystallized skin cracks under my grip. Not breaks, cracks, like I've grabbed a salt sculpture. Tommy makes a sound, not a scream, something worse. A grinding noise, like stone rubbing stone, coming from his throat. His mouth opens wider. I can see inside. His tongue is crystallizing. His teeth, the inside of his cheeks turning translucent. I let go. Step back. Vic's breathing hard beside me. What the hell did they drill into? I look past the boring machine, at the wall where the bit punched through. There's a cavity behind it. The drill broke through into a void space and now I can see into it. My headlamp beam doesn't reflect right in there. The space beyond is lined with crystal formations. Thick as stalagmites, clear as glass, and at the center, there's something in there, not crystal, something organic, preserved in salt. I can see the outline of it through the crystals. Multiple forms, clustered together. Ancient, older than anything human. The salt's been growing around them for millennia, keeping them perfect, keeping them dormant, until the drill bit cracked the seal. Surface. I try my radio again, still dead. Vic, we need to evacuate. Now, the whole mine. Derek, the company's not going to. Look at Tommy. Vic looks, really looks, at his friend of 20 years standing there turning into a salt statue from the inside out. Still alive, still breathing, mouth working soundlessly while crystal grows through his vocal cords. Okay, Vic says. Okay, evacuation. We back away from 7 Delta, from Tommy and his crew. I want to help them. Want to figure out how to reverse this, but I don't know what this is. Don't know what they broke through to, what they released, what's turning them into something not quite human and not quite mineral. Behind us, deeper in the tunnel, I hear footsteps. Multiple people walking, heavy, dragging footsteps. The crystallized crew shouldn't be able to walk, shouldn't be able to move with their joints turning to salt. But they're moving anyway, and my knee, the bad one, the ACL tear that never healed, it's starting to itch. The emergency ladders are 60 feet of galvanized steel bolted to the shaft wall every 200 yards. MSHA Regulation 57.11053. I've cited people for loose rungs. Now I'm climbing them faster than I've moved in 3 years. Bad knee screaming, Vic breathing hard behind me, and all I can think is, Tommy's still down there. Tommy and Pete and the other two whose names I should know but can't remember because I'm panicking, and that's not professional, but I can't stop my hands from shaking on the rungs. My knee buckles at rung 42. I catch myself, keep climbing. The itch is worse. Not pain, itching. Deep in the joint where the torn ligament never healed right. Like something's growing in the scar tissue. Holloway, that's from below. Not Vic, someone else. I look down, mistake, always a mistake looking down emergency ladders, and there's Tommy Vasquez climbing after us. Except Tommy was 60% crystallized 2 minutes ago. Tommy couldn't move his fingers. He's moving now. Slow but steady. Jerky. His crystallized limbs don't bend right. The joints are stiff, frozen at angles, but he's climbing anyway. Using his rigid arms like hooks. His translucent legs pushing mechanically. His face. Jesus, his face is still Tommy's face. Still has his expression frozen in it, but it's translucent. I can see his skull underneath. See his teeth through his cheek. His mouth is moving. Opening and closing. No sound coming out. Just his jaw working up and down, grinding crystal on crystal. Vic, move. We climb faster. My knee gives out completely at rung 58. I haul myself up with arm strength, thinking about Jamie and his basketball practice tonight at 6. How I'm supposed to pick him up. How Rachel's gonna kill me if I'm late again. Stupid thoughts. Survival thoughts. The brain does that when you're scared. Fixates on the mundane because the real problem is too big. Surface access is a steel hatch sealed with a hydraulic lock. I slam my fist on it 3 times, emergency signal, and somewhere above pneumatics hiss and the hatch swings open. Fresh air hits my face. Dry air. No salt condensation. I pull myself through. Vic right behind me. We're in the equipment staging area, corrugated metal building, concrete floor, racks of tools and spare parts. Dale Pruitt, day shift supervisor, is staring at us like we're crazy. Derek, what the hell? Close the hatch. Now. Dale moves. 30 years underground before they promoted him to surface operations. The man knows when to ask questions and when to act. He hits the button and the hydraulic hatch grinds shut. Through the closing gap, I see Tommy's crystallized hand reach through. Fingers rigid like claws, grasping for the edge. The hatch seals. 2-inch steel with pneumatic locks. MSHA rated for cave-in protection. Should hold. Something scrapes against the metal from below. Rhythmic. Patient. Not frantic scratching. Methodical scraping. Tommy's down there trying to dig through steel with crystallized fingers, and he's got nothing but time. Somebody want to explain? Dale asks. He's holding a Motorola 2-way, not mine, his works, surface equipment on a different frequency. Regional's been calling. Radio blackout in shaft 7. Air quality alarms. And now you two come up looking like you've seen. What's the evacuation status? I cut him off. Evacuation? Derek, there's 47 guys working shafts 3 through 9. You can't just. Dale, listen to me. Tommy Vasquez and his drill crew are infected with something. Crystallization. It's spreading. They broke through into a cavity and released. Released what? I don't have an answer. Don't know what to call it. Bacteria? Virus? Some kind of halophile organism that's been dormant in sealed salt deposits for 10,000 years? I'm a safety inspector. I know OSHA regulations and equipment specifications. I don't know microbiology. Doesn't matter what, Vic says. He's checking his hand, the cut from earlier. The crystal growth has spread. Tiny clear formations branching across his palm like frozen lightning, spreading up his wrist. Matters that it's contagious. Contact transmission. Maybe airborne. We were breathing the same air as Tommy's crew. Then you're both contaminated, Dale says, stepping back from us. Smart man. Probably. My knee itches. I don't look at it. Don't want to see what's growing in there. But we got out. Tommy didn't. The others didn't. They're still mobile. Still moving. And they're trying to get to surface. Dale's processing this. I can see him running through the scenarios, the liability concerns, the company policies. Intermountain Mining's emergency protocols say, contain the incident, minimize losses, protect corporate assets. In that order. Employee safety is supposed to come first, but it never does. Not really. I need to call this in, Dale says. Regional office. Maybe CDC if it's biological. No time. We evacuate now. Full site evacuation. Get everyone to surface and seal all the shafts. Derek, you're asking me to shut down production on a Tuesday afternoon because of what? Salt crystals. Because Tommy Vasquez is turning into a salt statue and he's still walking. Silence. Dale looks at Vic for confirmation. Vic holds up his crystallized hand. The growth has reached his forearm now. I can see through the skin, see the bones, the muscles. The crystallized tissue looks hard, inflexible, but Vic's still moving the fingers. Still has motor function even though the flesh is turning to mineral. He's not exaggerating, Vic says. I felt it happen. Cut my hand on equipment. Happens all the time, right? Except this time the salt got in. Started growing. Doesn't hurt. That's what's wrong. It should hurt. Instead it just spreads. And I can still move. Shouldn't be able to move with my hand crystallizing, but I can. Better than before, actually. No tremor. No arthritis pain. Dale makes his decision. Picks up his radio. All stations, this is Pruitt. Site-wide evacuation, all shafts. Emergency Protocol 7. Everyone to surface, account at staging area. Move it. The radio crackles with confused responses. Questions. Arguments. Production quotas. Time schedules. Dale overrides them all. Not a discussion. Evacuate. Now. Through the staging area windows I can see the main yard, parking lot, administrative trailer, the big garage where they service the heavy equipment. Guys are starting to emerge from other access points. Confused. Annoyed. Most of them don't know anything's wrong yet. They think it's a drill. Vic's at the window too, counting heads. That's Rodriguez's crew from Shaft 3. Hassan's team from 5. Where's everybody from 6? 6 connects to 7. I say. Below the split. We watch. Wait, no one comes up from Shaft 6. How many crew in 6? Dale asks. 8. Vic says. Maybe 10 with the maintenance team. My radio, the one that died underground, suddenly crackles to life. Static. Then sounds. Not words. Wet grinding noises. Crystal scraping on crystal. And underneath that, breathing. Heavy, labored breathing like someone trying to force air through damaged lungs. Then Tommy's voice. Distorted. Garbled. Like he's talking through broken glass. Wreck. Still. Here. Can't. Talk right. Throat. Wrong. Everything. Stiff. Need. Help. Please. Help. Vic grabs the radio from my belt. Tommy. Buddy, we're getting help. Hang on. We're. More grinding sounds. Tommy again. Crew. Climbing. Following. You. Can't. Stop them. Bodies. Moving on. Their own. We're. Just. Inside. Watching. Trapped. In our. Own skin. Static. Dead air. Then Tommy again. His voice breaking up. In. Shaft 6. Now. Found. Maintenance. Crew. Salt. Got them. 2. They're changing. Fast. 10 people. All. Crystallizing. All. Still. Moving. Can't. Stop. Bodies. Keep. Walking. Keep. Climbing. We're. Passengers. Derek. Just. Passengers. In crystal bodies. Jesus Christ. Dale whispers. How many? Tommy. How many people in Shaft 6? 10. Was 10. Now. We're all moving together. Toward surface. Bodies want out. Want air. Want more. Can't stop them from climbing. That's not right. People don't talk about their bodies like separate things. People don't describe themselves as passengers. But that's what Tommy's saying. He's still conscious inside his crystallizing body, but he's not controlling it anymore. The transformation has motor control. He's just along for the ride. I take the radio back from Vic. Tommy, listen to me. Your daughter Lucia, 3 months old. You've got a family. Pause. Long pause. Then Lucia. Yes, baby. She's safe? Not here. She's safe. She's at home with your wife. You need to stay in Shaft 6. Don't come to surface. We're getting medical help. Body Won't listen. Keeps climbing. Sorry, Derek. Can't stop my legs. Can't stop my arms. They're not mine anymore. I shut off the radio. Dale's already on his phone. Not calling regional office. Calling 911. Wendover Emergency Services? This is Dale Pruitt, Intermountain Mining Operations. We have a biological contamination event. Unknown pathogen. At least 18 workers infected. Possibly contagious. We need. Yes, I'll hold. Vic's still watching Shaft 6 access. No one's come up. That's good. Means the infected crew are still below. Means containment's possible. Then I see it. Water. Not water condensation. Forming on the outside of the Shaft 6 hatch. Beating up. Running down the steel in rivulets. Salty moisture. The same weeping I saw on tunnel walls below. They're right underneath us. I say. The hatch shudders. Someone's hitting it from below. Not panicked hammering. Steady, rhythmic impacts. Testing the strength. Finding weak points. The crystallized crew working together. Their transformed bodies tireless, patient, unstoppable. Dale. How long until emergency services arrive? They're transferring me to County Hazmat. Could be 30 minutes. 30 minutes. 47 workers in the yard. 18 infected below trying to get to surface. My knee itching worse now. Burning, something definitely growing in there. Vic's hand completely crystallized up to the wrist. Fingers moving but stiff. Jerky. And the hatch to Shaft 6 is starting to buckle. We need to seal them in, I say. Thermite charges on all shaft access points. Standard mine sealing procedure for toxic gas leaks. That'll trap them down there, Dale says. They're already trapped. Already gone. Bodies still moving, but the people inside, they're just watching it happen. Can't control anything. Vic looks at his crystallized hand. And me. Derek, we're infected too. You seal those shafts, you need to seal us on the right side of it. He's right, but I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about Jamie at basketball practice at 6. Rachel picking him up if I don't make it. My son waiting in the gym parking lot, checking his phone, wondering where his dad is. Not knowing that his dad's knee is crystallizing, that his dad might lose motor control soon, that his dad might become a passenger in his own body. The Shaft 6 hatch buckles outward. Metal screaming. Pneumatic lock straining. Get the thermite, I tell Dale. Do it now. The thermite charges are stored in Magazine C, 200 yards from staging area. Concrete bunkers set into the hillside, kept locked because thermite burns at 4,000 degrees and can't be extinguished with water. We use it for emergency shaft sealing, cave-ins, gas leaks, times when you need to melt steel fast and permanently. I've got the keys. Safety inspector privilege. Never thought I'd be using them to trap my coworkers underground. Vic's following me across the yard, cradling his crystallized hand against his chest. The transformation spread past his wrist now. I can see it creeping up his forearm under his sleeve. The weird thing, he's moving that arm better than his good one. No tremor, no hesitation, just smooth, mechanical precision when he reaches for things. Vic, you still feeling okay? Hand doesn't hurt, arm doesn't hurt, just feels cold, numb, like frostbite, but my fingers still work. Better than they used to, actually. I can move them without the arthritis catching. That's wrong. That's very wrong. The crystallization isn't just transforming tissue. It's taking over motor control, improving function, making bodies work better even as they stop being human. Behind us I hear Dale on his phone, still arguing with County Hazmat about response time. The other workers are clustered in groups. Some by their trucks, some at the chain-link fence, everyone confused and angry about the evacuation. Nobody knows what's really happening except me, Vic, and Dale. That's a problem. Can't seal the shafts without explaining why, and if I explain, there's going to be panic. My knee is burning now. Not itching, burning. Like someone's holding a lighter to the joint from inside. I try not to limp. Can't show weakness. Everyone's watching the safety inspector to see how scared they should be. Magazine C is secured with a Schlage padlock and a biometric scanner. Company went overboard on security after that incident in Nevada, 2017, when a contractor stole dynamite. I pressed my thumb to the scanner. Red light. Declined. Try again. Red light. Derek. Vic's looking at his own thumb, the crystallized one. My fingerprints. They're gone. Skin's too smooth, too clear. I stare at my thumb. The skin looks normal, feels normal, but the scanner won't read it. Salt's filling in the ridges, Vic says, making everything flat, uniform. Can't feel it happening, but I can see it. I pull out my keys, find the override. Manual lock. The padlock opens and we're inside. Concrete walls, steel shelving, 40-pound thermite containers stacked according to BATF regulations. Each one labeled with burn time and application instructions. I need 6 charges. 1 for each shaft access that connects to the contaminated sections. Vic starts loading charges onto a hand truck. His crystallized hand works fine. Better than fine, no tremor, no fatigue, just smooth mechanical precision. He lifts a 40-pound container one-handed like it weighs nothing. Vic, how much can you lift with that arm? He looks at it, tests it by lifting another container. Don't know, doesn't strain, doesn't tire, just works. Enhanced strength. The crystallization's doing something to his muscles, making them denser, more efficient. But at what cost? How long before he loses control like Tommy? How long before his body starts moving on its own and Vic's just a passenger watching through crystal eyes? Load the truck, I say. We're sealing the shafts. Back across the yard. The thermite charges are heavy, but Vic's pulling the hand truck with his crystallized arm like it's empty. His good arm hangs loose at his side. He's not using it, relying entirely on the transformed one. Derek, something's wrong with my good arm, he says. Feels weak, heavy, like it's not working right anymore. What do you mean not working right? The crystallized arm. It's so much stronger, so much more responsive. The normal arm feels broken in comparison. Slow, clumsy. I keep wanting to switch everything to the crystal side. That's how it spreads. That's how it takes over. It doesn't just transform tissue. It makes the transformation better than what it's replacing. Makes you want it. Makes your body prefer the crystallized parts over the human ones. Dale intercepts us at Shaft 6. Hazmat's 20 minutes out. They're bringing the State Mining Commission, CDC observers, possibly National Guard for containment. They want us to maintain position and wait for Derek. What are you doing with thermite? Emergency shaft sealing. Protocol for toxic contamination. That protocol requires regional approval and the Shaft 6 hatch buckles again. Louder this time. One of the pneumatic locks pops off, shoots across the concrete like a bullet. The hatch lifts 6 inches and I see hands reaching through. Clear hands. Crystal hands. 10 of them. The entire Shaft 6 crew working together to open the hatch from below. Approval denied, Dale says. Regional says wait for Hazmat. Regional isn't here. Regional isn't watching Tommy Vasquez and 10 other guys turn into walking salt deposits and try to break through to surface. Regional says the infected workers still have rights. Medical treatment. Due process. Company liability. I grab Dale by his shirt. Probably gonna get fired for this, but I don't care. They knew. Regional knew. Look at that hatch. Look at how it's corroding. Salt doesn't do that to steel in 3 hours. This has been happening before. Other sites. Other mines. And they sent us in anyway. Dale pulls away from me, adjusts his shirt, looks at the crystallized hands forcing the hatch wider. The fingers aren't flexing right. They're rigid, frozen in claw shapes, but they're working together with mechanical precision. Prying at the steel, testing every weak point. I'm following company protocol. You set those charges, you're doing it without authorization. Fine. Not the first citation I've written myself. Vic and I move to Shaft 6. The thermite charge mounts directly above the hatch regulation placement for emergency sealing. I'm setting the timer for 2 minutes when someone grabs my arm. Not Vic. One of the other workers. Rodriguez from Shaft 3 crew. Holloway, what's going on? Dale's being cagey, you're setting demolition charges, and I've got guys asking if they should leave site. You should all leave site. Get in your trucks and drive to Wendover. Don't stop. Don't come back. What about the crew still underground? I don't have a good answer. The truth is, they're gone. Not dead but gone. Changed into something that's not quite human anymore. Bodies moving on their own. Muscles controlled by crystalline tissue that's replaced human nerves. But Rodriguez has worked with these men, eaten lunch with them. They're not abstract contamination statistics to him. They're infected with something. Crystallization. It spreads through contact, through open wounds. Best thing you can do is get clear. Rodriguez looks at the hands forcing open the shaft 6 hatch. Backs away. Jesus Christ. Are they still alive in there? Don't know. Bodies are moving. Don't know if the people inside are still there or if they're just along for the ride. He runs. Starts yelling at the other workers. Everybody out. Get to your trucks. Biological contamination. That's what breaks the calm. 40 workers suddenly understanding this isn't a drill. This is real. This is the nightmare scenario we train for but never expect. Parking lot erupts into chaos. Trucks starting. Guys running. Someone screaming about calling OSHA. The shaft 6 hatch flies open completely. Tommy Vasquez climbs out first. His body is 60% crystal now. I can see through his arms, see the bones and muscles inside like he's made of ice. His face is still recognizable. Still Tommy. But his movements are wrong. Jerky. His crystallized legs don't bend at the knee properly. They're stiff, rigid, but he's walking anyway, dragging himself forward with mechanical determination. His mouth opens. That grinding sound. Then his voice, barely recognizable. Derek, can't stop. Body keeps moving. Please help. Stuck inside. Watching my legs walk. Watching my arms reach. Not controlling anything. Behind Tommy, Pete, Ortiz, the others from his drill team, and behind them, the entire Shaft 6 maintenance crew, all crystallized to varying degrees, all moving with that same stiff mechanical motion. Bodies that don't need rest, don't need coordination, just keep going. You're not my friends anymore, I say, setting the thermite timer. 90 seconds. Tommy's body takes another step toward me. His face is locked in an expression of horror. That's what's left of Tommy in there, I realize. His facial muscles crystallized mid-scream, frozen, but his body keeps moving toward me anyway. His mouth works, jaw grinding. Don't seal us in. Still here, still aware, just can't control bodies. They're moving on their own, looking for more people, want to spread. Body wants to touch everyone. Make more. 60 seconds. I tell him, get back in the shaft or get clear. Either way, I'm sealing this. Derek, I'm trapped in here. My daughter, tell Lucia. I tried to stop this. Tried to stop my body from climbing. Couldn't. Tommy's crystallized hand reaches for me. The fingers don't flex, they're rigid, but the arm extends with mechanical precision. I step back. 30 seconds. Vic's beside me. His arm is completely crystallized now, transparent from fingertips to shoulder. Derek, what if Tommy's right? What if they're still conscious in there? Still aware? We'd be sealing living people underground. They're not people anymore. They're infected. Their bodies aren't theirs. My arm isn't mine either, but I'm still here. Still Vic. What if I end up like Tommy? Trapped inside a body I can't control, watching it walk around doing things I don't want it to do. The Shaft 6 crew is advancing. Slow but steady. 12 men with crystal skin and bodies that move like automatons. Behind them I hear more sounds. More footsteps. More of them coming up from below. Dragging footsteps. Bodies that don't coordinate right but keep going anyway. 20 seconds on the timer. Tommy's body stops 3 feet from me. His mouth is still working. Derek, please, don't seal me with my crew. We're all stuck. All watching. Bodies climbing, looking for exit. We're screaming inside. Can't make our mouths scream. Just grind. 10 seconds. I can't tell if Tommy's lying. Can't tell if he's really still in there or if that's the infection using his voice to stop me from sealing the shaft. Can't tell if the horror on his frozen face is real or just the expression he happened to have when his face crystallized. Dale grabs my shoulder. Holloway, step back. That's an order. 5 seconds. Regional says stand down. Says wait for hazmat. Says. The thermite ignites. 4,000 degrees. White-hot magnesium reaction. The hatch housing melts instantly. Steel flowing like water. Sealing shaft 6 in a puddle of molten metal. Tommy's body scrambles back from the heat. Mechanical reaction. Seeking to avoid damage. But 3 of the shaft 6 crew are caught. Their crystallized bodies shatter in the heat. Not melting. Shattering. Like glass sculptures dropped on concrete. The bodies break apart and inside I see human tissue. Red, wet, still alive, still bleeding. The people inside still there, still intact, trapped in crystal shells that just broke open. They're screaming, actually screaming now that their crystal mouths are broken. Pete's crystallized torso shattered and he's lying there. Human from the waist up, crystal from the waist down. Screaming as salt-saturated air hits exposed tissue. Tommy's staring at the broken bodies, his mouth grinding faster. Oh, God, they're still in there. We're all still in there. You didn't kill the infection. You just broke the shells. I didn't think about that. Didn't think about the human tissue still alive inside the crystal. Didn't think that shattering the transformed bodies would expose the people trapped inside. Vic's staring at his crystallized arm, at the thermite charges on the hand truck. Derek, if we seal all the shafts with charges like that, we'll shatter everyone underground. Everyone who's crystallized. They'll be alive inside, exposed, dying slow in the dark. We don't have a choice. Can't let this spread. There's got to be another way. Something that doesn't torture them. Best for who? Best for the company? Best for regional management who sent us down there knowing something was wrong. He's right, probably right, but I don't know what else to do. Don't know how to save people who are already halfway to being something else. Don't know how to stop crystallization that's spreading through air and touch and open wounds. My knee buckles. I catch myself. Look down. Through my pants I can see it. Faint translucence in the skin around my kneecap. The crystallization spreading from the torn ligament outward. Vic, how long before it takes over completely? For me? Hour, maybe 2. For you? Depends on the wound size, the scar tissue, how much damaged flesh it has to replace. An hour, maybe 2. That's all I've got before I'm like Tommy. Before my body starts moving on its own and I'm trapped inside watching through crystal eyes. Jamie, basketball practice at 6. Rachel picking him up. I need to call them, need to warn them, need to tell my son not to come home because his father might not be in control of his own body anymore. I pull out my phone. 3 missed calls from Rachel. 2 texts, where are you? And Jamie's asking about practice. I start typing, stay away from the mine, don't come home. I'm infected with, what do I say? Infected with crystallization. Your dad might lose control of his body? Sounds insane. But if I don't warn them, if this gets out of containment, if it spreads to Wendover, Dale's phone rings. He answers, listens. His face goes white. Understood. We'll hold position. He ends the call. Looks at me. That was state emergency management. Wendover's under quarantine. All roads blocked. Nothing in, nothing out. National Guard en route. They're treating this as potential biological weapon scenario. Biological weapon? Dale, this is a mining accident. Is it? He's backing away from me. From Vic. From Tommy and the Shaft 6 crew that's standing 50 feet away. Bodies swaying slightly, mouths grinding. Regional just sent me incident reports. For other Intermountain sites in 3 states. Same symptoms. Same crystallization. All drilling deep salt formations. All within the last 6 months. All sealed and classified. That's when I understand. They knew. The company knew. Regional knew. They've been dealing with this at other sites and they kept drilling anyway. Kept sending crews underground. Kept exposing workers to whatever's dormant in those ancient salt deposits. And now they've quarantined an entire town rather than admit what they've done. Where's Jamie right now? Vic asks quietly. Right now. Exact location. I check my phone. Text from Rachel. Picking him up from school. Practice at Roosevelt Gym. Home by 7. Roosevelt Middle School. 3 miles from the mine. Inside the quarantine zone. My son is trapped in here with us. Jamie's there. Rachel's there. Quarantine means National Guard on the roads with live ammunition and orders to contain. Means nobody gets out. Means my son's trapped in a zone with crystallized mine workers whose bodies don't stop. Don't rest. Just keep walking on stiff legs looking for more people to infect. I'm running for my truck. Bad idea, my knees crystallizing might give out completely, but I'm running anyway. Vic's beside me, keeping pace. His crystallized arm swings with mechanical precision, the stiff limb not bending right but moving anyway. Derek, wait! That's Dale, still holding his phone. State emergency says shelter in place. Nobody moves until hazmat establishes protocols. My son's in the quarantine zone. So are 3,000 other people. You can't. I keep running. Reach my truck. 2015 Ford F-250. Paid off last year. Needs new brake pads. And I'm climbing in when Vic grabs my arm. Not aggressive. Careful. His crystallized fingers are cold against my skin. Rigid. They don't flex around my arm, they just grip with mechanical force. I'm coming with you, he says. 2 of us better than 1. And my arm's gone. Hands gone. But I'm still here. Still got control of my head, my good arm, my legs. Let me help while I still can. Smart. Practical. That's the Vic I know. I nod. He climbs in passenger side. Behind us I hear Dale shouting into his phone. Probably calling state emergency. Probably reporting that 2 infected workers are violating quarantine. Don't care. My son matters more than protocol. I start the truck. The parking lot's chaos, workers evacuating. Some heading for Wendover. Most just idling uncertain. I navigate through them, hit State Route 58 heading east. 3 miles. For minutes if I speed. Vic's looking at his crystallized arm. The whole thing is transparent now. I can see every bone, every muscle, every tendon. But it's not just transformed, it's wrong. The muscles are too thick, too dense. The bones have crystal growths on them like barnacles. And the whole arm moves smoothly despite the rigid joints. Impossibly smooth. It's spreading to my shoulder, Vic says. Can feel it in my chest. Ribs crystallizing. Lungs still work, but they feel stiff. Hard. Like I'm breathing through frozen tissue. Can you still breathe? Yeah. Better than before, actually. No wheeze. No tightness. The crystallizations fixing the damage from 30 years of dust inhalation. Vic, don't start thinking the transformation's good. I'm not. I'm just saying, it improves function even while it takes over. That's how it wins. Makes you stronger, faster, better. Why would your body fight something that fixes broken joints and damaged lungs? My phone rings. Rachel. I answer on speaker. Derek, where are you? They're blocking the roads. Military trucks. They won't let anyone leave town. Jamie's scared and I don't know what to tell him. I'm coming to get you. Both of you. Stay at the school. Don't go outside. Why? What's happening? How do I explain? How do I tell my ex-wife that I'm infected with a crystallization disease? That I'm turning into something not human? That the mine released something ancient and it's spreading through everyone with open wounds? Mining accident. Contamination. It's spreading. Stay inside. Lock the doors. Don't let anyone in who looks wrong. Wrong how? Translucent skin. Clear eyes. Moving stiff. Like their joints don't bend right. Like they're puppets. Silence. Then, Derek, you sound insane. I know, but I'm coming anyway. Keep Jamie safe until I get there. She hangs up. Always did hang up on me when I stressed her out. 13 years married. 3 years divorced. And I never learned how to talk to Rachel without making her angry. Ahead, the checkpoint. 3 guard vehicles blocking the road, 2 Humvees and a troop transport. Soldiers in CBRN gear. Chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear. They're treating this like weapons-grade contamination. I slow down. Stop 20 yards out. A guard sergeant approaches, M4 rifle across his chest, gas mask making his voice hollow. Sir, this is a containment zone. No traffic in or out. Turn your vehicle around. My son's in there. Roosevelt Middle School. I need to get him. Sir, sheltering protocols are in effect. Your son is safer staying put than moving through contaminated areas. He's not safe. There are infected people heading toward populated areas. Mine workers who've been crystallized. They're mobile. Their bodies don't stop. They keep walking even when the people inside can't control them anymore. The sergeant exchanges glances with his team. Sir, we're aware of the biological agent. CDC is en route. Protocols won't stop them. They're not sick. They're transformed. Bodies enhanced. Stronger than they should be. And they're spreading it through contact. Through wounds. Anyone with a cut, a scrape, anything. The salt gets in and starts growing. Vic leans over from the passenger seat, holds up his crystallized arm. The afternoon sun hits it and throws rainbow refractions across the sergeant's gas mask. He's not lying. I've got maybe 40 minutes before this reaches my torso completely. Before my body starts moving without me. Let him through. Let him get his kid. The sergeant steps back, talking into his radio. I catch fragments. Infected subjects mobile. Enhanced physical capabilities. Requesting authorization for lethal response. Lethal response. They're going to start shooting infected people. They're going to shoot Tommy and Vic and eventually me. Authorization denied, the sergeant says. Command says maintain containment. Non-lethal methods only. Sir, I need you to turn your vehicle around. I put the truck in reverse. Start backing up. The sergeant nods, satisfied. Then I crank the wheel hard, punch the accelerator, and go off-road around the checkpoint. The F-250's got four-wheel drive and clearance. I plow through scrub grass and rocks, bouncing over rough terrain, the soldiers shouting behind me but not firing. Non-lethal only. I'm gambling they won't shoot civilians yet. Back on pavement, accelerating. Vic's gripping the dashboard with his crystallized hand. The fingers don't flex, but they're locked on tight. Enhanced grip strength. Not sure if that was brave or stupid, Vic says. Probably both. 2 miles to Roosevelt. My knees burning worse. I look down. Through my jeans, I can see the crystallization spreading. Not just the joint anymore. The entire lower leg is going translucent. I can see the bones. See the muscles. See the fibula and tibia like they're encased in glass. And they look wrong, too thick. Crystal growth on the bones. Enhanced structure. Vic, if my body takes over before we get Jamie out, I'll get him out. Promise. Still have enough control to make promises. He pauses. I think. Roosevelt Middle School is a single-story brick building, built in the 1980s, updated never. Jamie's been complaining about the gym since he started there. Says the floor's warped. Says the hoops are bent. Says the school board doesn't care about athletics. Normal teenage complaints. I'd give anything to hear him complain right now. The parking lot's full. Basketball practice. Must be multiple teams. Parents waiting in cars. Rachel's Honda is parked near the gym entrance. I pull in next to her. She's out of her car immediately. Derek, what the hell? You ran a military checkpoint? Where's Jamie? Inside. Practice just ended. He's changing clothes. She's looking at my leg. At the translucent skin visible through my torn jeans. At the wrong shape of my bones underneath. Oh my God. Derek, what happened to you? Infected. Crystallization. Don't have much time. Need to get Jamie and get you both somewhere safe. Safe where? The whole town's quarantined. There's got to be somewhere. High ground. Sealed building. Somewhere the infected can't reach. Vic climbs out of the truck. Rachel sees his completely crystallized arm. His translucent chest visible through his torn shirt. She backs away. Stay away from us. Ma'am, I'm not going to hurt you. Still got control. But Derek's right, you need to get somewhere sealed. The crystallization spreads through contact, through open wounds, through salt-saturated air. Anyone breathing contaminated air is at risk. How much time? Rachel asks. Practical question. That's why I married her. Always practical under pressure. Hour, I say. Maybe less. Before my body takes over completely. Before I lose motor control. Jamie emerges from the gym. 14 years old, basketball under his arm, still wearing his practice jersey. He sees me and grins, then sees my leg and the grin dies. Dad? Dad, what's wrong with your leg? I want to tell him it's fine. Want to say everything's okay. But I've never lied to Jamie. Not about important things. Mining accident. Got infected with something. It's changing me. Body might take over soon. Might not be able to control my movements. He drops the basketball. Runs to me. Hugs me. His arms around my chest, and I can feel the crystallization there too. Ribs hardening, muscles densifying under the shirt. I hug him back. This might be the last time I can hug my son while I'm still in control. We're going to fix this, Jamie says. Right? There's medicine or something. Don't know if there's medicine for this. Rachel's phone rings. She answers. Listens. Her face goes white. That was my sister in Wendover. Says there are people walking through town. Crystallized people. Coming from the mine. Going door to door. Moving wrong. She says they're knocking on doors, and when people answer, the crystallized ones grab them. Force contact. Spread the infection deliberately. The Shaft 6 crew. Tommy and the others. They must have found another exit. Or made one. Thermite doesn't seal caves, it seals hatches. There are dozens of old ventilation shafts, service tunnels, emergency exits throughout the mine complex. And their bodies, controlled by the crystallization, found them. How many? Vic asks. She said at least 40, maybe more, coming from different directions. All moving toward populated areas. All with that stiff walk. Bodies that don't bend right but don't stop. 40 infected. Probably everyone who was underground when I sealed Shaft 6. Everyone who couldn't get to surface in time. Everyone who's been transforming in the tunnels for the last hour. And now their bodies are spreading it deliberately. My radio, the one that keeps dying, crackles again. Tommy's voice, that grinding distortion. Derek, found your address, crew, directory. 447 Maple Street, Blue House, basketball, hoop, worth, there, now, bodies, looking, for you, for Jamie, for Rachel, can't stop my legs from walking, can't stop my arms from knocking, body wants to spread this, just watching, screaming, inside my head. Jamie hears it, stares at the radio. That's Tommy? That's your friend Tommy who always brought cookies to the Christmas party. That was Tommy. This is something else controlling his body. Rachel grabs Jamie's arm. We're leaving. Derek, give me your keys. We'll drive north. Find a way through the quarantine. Roads are blocked. Guard won't let anyone pass. And even if you get through, if you're infected, if you're carrying spores in your lungs, you'll spread it to the next town, next county, next state. Then what do we do? That's the question. That's the impossible choice I've been avoiding. I can try to save Rachel and Jamie, get them out of the quarantine zone somehow, risk spreading the infection to uncontaminated areas, potentially doom thousands of people to become passengers in their own bodies. Or I can keep them here, keep the infection contained. Watch them breathe contaminated air. Watch them develop wounds that crystallize. Watch them lose control of their bodies one limb at a time. Both options destroy everything. Both options are unbearable. Vic's watching me. His face is starting to go translucent. Clear skin showing the skull underneath. Derek, decision time. What are we doing? I can't. Yes, you can. You're safety inspector. You make hard calls. Make one now. I look at Jamie, 14 years old. JV basketball. Bad math grades and good humor. My son who I've picked up from practice 40 times this year. My son who asks me about fixing things because he thinks I know how to fix everything. I can't fix this. Rachel, take Jamie to the high school. I say. Auditorium. It's got fire doors, sealed HVAC, emergency supplies. Get everyone you can find there. Lock it down. Wait for CDC. What about you? I'm going to the mine. Going to find the source. The cavity where this started. Going to collapse it. Maybe that stops the spread. Maybe killing the source stops new infections. You'll die down there. I'll lose control anyway. Hour or two and my body takes over. I'm just a passenger after that. Rather die trying to stop this than live watching my body spread infection. Jamie's crying. Trying not to but failing. Dad, no. There's got to be another way. There isn't, buddy. But you're going to be okay. Your mom's going to keep you safe. And maybe CDC finds a treatment. Maybe you don't get infected. Maybe only people with open wounds get it. I don't believe that, but I need him to have hope. Vic touches my shoulder with his crystallized hand. The fingers are rigid, cold. I'm coming with you. To the cavity. Got nothing to lose and I can still help. This arm's stronger than both my arms used to be. And I'm not afraid of the dark anymore. You'll lose control before we get there. Probably. But until I do, I'm useful. Enhanced strength. And I know the tunnel system. Every passage. Every shaft. I'll get you to the cavity. Rachel's pulling Jamie toward her Honda. He's resisting, reaching for me. Dad, go with your mom. Lock the doors. Don't let anyone in who looks crystal. I love you. Tell you that enough? I love you. I love you too, Dad. Come back. Please come back. I watch Rachel's Honda drive away. Jamie's face pressed against the rear window, looking at me, watching his father stand in an empty parking lot with a crystallized man. Both of us infected, both of us losing control, both of us knowing we're not coming back. That's the image. That's the moment that will haunt me for however long I have left. My son's face in the window, eyes wide, still believing I can fix this. Still thinking his dad knows how to fix everything. And me standing here knowing I can't fix anything. Knowing I'm choosing the safety of strangers over my family. Knowing that's the right choice and it's destroying me anyway. Let's go, I say to Vic. We climb back in the truck. I drive west, back toward the mine. Back toward the soldiers who might shoot us. Back toward Tommy and 40 other crystallized workers spreading through Wendover with bodies that don't stop. My knee doesn't hurt anymore. That's how I know it's almost over. The pain's gone. The limitation's gone. The transformation's replacing damaged tissue with crystal that works better than human ever did. Soon the control will be gone too. But first I'm going down into the dark one more time. Going to find the cavity where the drill broke through. Going to collapse it even if it means burying myself with it. Safety Inspector's final citation. Immediate mine closure. Permanent. The sun's setting. Ahead, the mine buildings are dark against red sky. Somewhere down there, 70 feet below ground in a cavity that's been sealed for 10,000 years, something ancient started growing when we broke the seal. Something that takes human bodies and makes them better, makes them stronger, makes them tireless, and takes away their control. I press the accelerator. Vic's completely quiet. I glance over. His face is full crystal now. Translucent. I can see his skull. His jaw moves mechanically. His mouth opens. That grinding sound. Then his voice, barely there. Derek? Losing it. Fast. Body wants to grab you. Wants to spread this. Can't stop my arms much longer. When I lose control, need to break my arms. Shatter the crystal. Don't let my body touch you. Vic, promise me, don't let my body spread this. I'm trapped in here, but can still ask for help. Help me not hurt anyone. I promise. His crystallized arm reaches for me. The hand locks on my shoulder. Rigid fingers digging in. Not Vic doing it. His body. The transformation taking control. Now, Vic says, do it. Now. I grab his crystallized arm with both hands. Pull. The crystal is hard but brittle. I feel it crack. Feel it shatter. Vic's arm breaks at the elbow, the crystal shell fracturing, and inside, human tissue. Red and wet and still alive. Still bleeding. Vic screaming as exposed nerves hit air. His arm broken but him still inside. Still trapped in a crystal body that just lost a limb. Oh God, oh God, oh God. He sang through grinding teeth. Still here. Still aware. Can't control anything but I'm still here. Derek, you have to end this. End all of us. Don't let us stay trapped like this forever. I park at the mine entrance. The sealed hatch. Vic knows other ways in. Service tunnels. But his body's taking over. His good arm is starting to move on its own. reaching, grasping. Ventilation shaft, he manages. 50 yards north. Can't show you anymore. Body won't listen. Sorry. Sorry. His mouth clamps shut, jaw locked. I still moving, still aware, but everything else controlled by Crystal now. His body climbs out of the truck, starts walking, not toward me, away, toward Wendover, toward people. His body's mission, spread. I'm alone. I find the ventilation shaft, pull off the grate. Inside, darkness, the smell of salt, and from deep below sounds, scraping, grinding, bodies moving in the dark. The infected crew still down there, still mobile, waiting. I climb in, down the ladder, down into the salt, down to the cavity where this started. My left leg is completely crystallized now, moving smoothly despite rigid joints. Enhanced, better, wrong. 70 feet down, the cavity ahead. I can see light, not electric light. Bioluminescence, the ancient organisms glowing faintly in the dark. Growing, spreading, building something. I've got thermite charges in my pack. Enough to collapse this whole section. My right arm starts to move on its own. Reaching. I've lost it. The transformation's taking over. I'm running out of time. Running out of me. I set the charges. Set the timer. 5 minutes. Then I sit down in the dark. Wait for the explosion. Wait for the ceiling to come down. Wait to be buried here with whatever we released. My body starts to stand. Wants to climb. Wants to get out. Wants to survive. But I'm still in here. Still aware. And I won't let it leave. Won't let it spread. I lock my muscles. Fight for control. My body fights back. Stronger. Enhanced. But I've got 5 minutes. Just need to stay here 5 minutes. Stop my body from climbing out. For minutes. My legs start walking. I fall. Catch myself. My crystallized leg is trying to climb the ladder. I grab it with my good hand. Hold on. Don't let it move. 3 minutes. Both legs crystallized now. Both trying to climb. My arms fighting each other, one crystal, one human. Both wanting different things. 2 minutes. I'm losing. My body's winning. The stronger. It's got crystal muscles and enhanced strength, and it wants to live. Wants to spread. Wants to climb out and find people and touch them and make more. 1 minute. I reach the ladder. My body's climbing. I can't stop it. Can't stop my legs from moving, my arms from pulling. I'm screaming inside, but my mouth won't scream. Just grinds crystal on crystal. I'm 15 feet up the ladder when the charges blow. The cavity collapses. Million tons of salt and rock. Everything coming down. Everything. Including me. I'm writing this 3 weeks later. Voice recorder because my hands shake too much to type. Right hand human shakes constantly. Left hand crystal, perfectly steady, but I won't use it. Won't let that arm do anything I don't absolutely have to. Because I know every infected person knows the crystal parts want control. Want to move. Want to spread. The collapse should have killed me. Million tons of rock and salt. But my body, the crystallized parts, protected the human parts. Crystals harder than bone. Harder than steel. The rescue team found me 70 hours later, buried under rubble. Left side completely crystal. Right side crushed but alive. They extracted 47 people from the tunnels. All partially crystallized. All trapped in bodies they couldn't control. Some of them only arms or legs transformed. Some of them, like Tommy Vasquez, 60, 70, 80% crystal. Bodies moving, walking, trying to spread even while rescue teams pulled them out. Tommy's in medical tent 3. Different tent from me. They separate us by crystallization percentage. I'm 58%. Tommy's 73. Vic Brennan was 86% when they found him walking on State Route 58. His body moving steadily toward Wendover while Vic screamed inside, unable to stop his legs. They had to shatter his legs to stop him. Crystal breaks when you hit it hard enough. Vic's still alive. Still conscious. Lying in medical tent 4 with no legs, upper body 60% crystal, completely aware inside a body that can't move anymore. He begs the doctors to kill him every day. They won't. CDC protocols. Infected subjects are research specimens. Can't euthanize research specimens. Jamie's at Roosevelt High Auditorium. Still there. 27 people locked inside for 18 days before CDC established the auditorium was clean. No crystallization. No infection. My son's alive. Rachel's alive. I'm not allowed to see them. Quarantine regulations. Partially crystallized subjects remain infectious through salt particle transmission and direct contact. We're 16 people in medical tent 7. All of us stopped mid-transformation at different percentages. All of us stuck. Bodies wanting to move, wanting to spread, and us inside fighting for control every minute of every day. The crystallization doesn't progress if you're not exposed to more salt. But it doesn't reverse either. We're frozen at whatever percentage we reached. My left leg, crystal. My left arm, crystal. My ribs on the left side, crystal. My right side, human. Damaged. Weak. But human. The crystal parts are stronger. That's what the CDC doctors keep documenting. Enhanced muscle density. Enhanced bone structure. Improved joint function. No pain. No fatigue. Perfect motor control when the crystal takes over. But that's the problem. When the crystal takes over. Not if. When. Because we're all still fighting. Every minute. My left arm wants to move. Wants to reach out. Wants to touch the doctors when they come close. Wants to grab the other patients. Wants to spread. And I have to fight it. Constantly. Lock my shoulder. Keep the arm still. The moment I stop concentrating, the moment I relax, the arm starts moving. Sleep is impossible. If I sleep, my body moves. They have to strap us down. Restrain the crystallized limbs. Even then, we wake up to find our crystal parts have been straining against the restraints all night. Testing. Trying to break free. Tommy's worse. 73% means his body has more control than he does. They keep him in a specialized containment cell. Reinforced walls. His crystallized body broke through standard restraints twice. The second time, his body made it into the medical staff area before they tackled him. Tommy was screaming the whole time. They could see his human eye moving, his human mouth trying to form words, but his body just kept walking, kept reaching for people. They broke both his arms after that, shattered them like glass. Now Tommy's in his cell with stumps, human tissue exposed at the breaks, constantly infected because crystal shards are still in the wounds. He can't heal, can't regenerate, just sits there in constant agony while his body tries to stand on crystallized legs that don't feel pain. I dream about the cavity, about what we found down there. CDC sent teams, brought up samples. The organisms, ancient halophiles that survived in salt for millennia, they're dead now. The collapse crushed them, destroyed the source. But it doesn't matter, because the crystallization is self-sustaining. Once it's in human tissue, it doesn't need the source. It just grows, uses the human body as a host, transforms it, takes control, makes it spread. There are protocols now, national protocols. Any mining operation that hits deep salt formations, immediate sealing, no sampling, no drilling deeper, just seal it and move on. For other intermountain sites were successfully contained using those protocols. But Wendover was already exposed. 3,000 people in the quarantine zone. 47 extracted infected. 216 confirmed dead from infection spread. Bodies found with crystal growth so extensive they couldn't move anymore. Couldn't breathe. Just suffocated as their lungs turned to salt. And the rest, the other 2,700 people, they're all suspects. All potentially exposed. All being monitored for signs of crystallization. Any wound, any cut, any broken skin, immediate medical intervention. Debridement. Remove the tissue before crystal can take hold. Jamie had a scrape on his elbow. Basketball injury. Rachel called the medical line and they sent a team. Cut away a 1/4 inch of skin around the wound. Cauterized it. Now Jamie's got a scar and he's in the clear. The CDC says he's clean. No crystal growth. No infection. Safe. But Rachel told me during one of our monitored video calls, Jamie has nightmares. Dreams about his dad. Dreams about me standing in the parking lot with Vic. Both of us crystallizing. Both of us knowing we weren't coming back. Jamie wakes up screaming that his dad's legs are walking around without him. That his dad's trapped inside crystal watching his body hurt people. He's not far wrong. My left arm moved yesterday. I was watching TV, they give us TVs in the med tents, keep us occupied. and I looked down and my crystal arm was reaching toward the medical tech changing my four. I didn't tell it to move, didn't want it to move, but it moved anyway. Slow, mechanical, reaching for human contact, reaching to spread. The tech saw it, backed away, hit the alarm. 2 guards came in with shock batons. Didn't have to use them. I got control back, locked my shoulder, forced the arm down, but it took effort, took concentration. And I know everyone in Medical Tent 7 knows we're not getting stronger. The crystal is. Vic's voice on the med tent intercom yesterday. Derek, can you hear me? Body tried to crawl. I don't have legs. I don't have working arms. But my torso was dragging itself across the floor trying to get to the door. I was screaming. Nobody could hear me, just watching my body drag itself like a snake. They had to inject paralytic. Now I can't move anything. Can't even blink. Just eyes. Just awareness. Trapped. I can't respond to him. Different tense. No communication between subjects. But I hear him sometimes. Late at night. On the intercom. Just Vic talking to the empty air because talking is the only thing that proves he's still human. Still aware. Still Vic. I think about Julie, my sister in Reno. She visited once. They let her see me through containment glass. She cried. Said I didn't look like her brother anymore. Said the crystal made me look like a statue. She asked if I was still in there. I tried to nod, but my neck's crystallized. Can't move it. Just opened and closed my mouth. That grinding sound. She left. Hasn't come back. I don't blame her. The other 15 in Medical Tent 7, we don't talk much. What's there to say? We're medical curiosities. Scientific specimens. The unlucky ones who survived. But we're not survivors. We're prisoners. Prisoners in our own bodies fighting against our own limbs every minute of every day. At night, I can hear them. The others. Fighting their crystal parts. One guy, Rodriguez, I think, from Shaft 3, his right arm is completely crystallized. Every night around 2 a.m. his arm starts moving. He fights it, screams at it. Sometimes he wins. Sometimes the arm breaks free from restraints and they have to sedate him. One night they had to shatter his hand. He was awake during it, crying, thanking them for breaking his own hand because that was the only way to stop it from reaching. I filed my report with MSHA. Complete documentation. Witness testimony. Evidence of corporate negligence. Regional management knew. They dealt with this at 4 other sites. They knew crystallization was a risk and they sent us down anyway. The investigation's ongoing. Might take years. Intermountain Mining has filed for bankruptcy protection, using the crystallization outbreak as force majeure. They'll settle with families, seal the records, reorganize under a new name, keep operating. And somewhere else, in some other deep salt formation in some other state, there are more cavities, more dormant organisms, more crews who don't know what they're drilling into, more Derek Holloways who'll have to choose between their families and containing the infection, more people who'll end up in med tents fighting against their own bodies. Jamie's 14th birthday was last week, November 12th. He wanted a new phone. Rachel sent me video from the party. She held up her phone, showed me the decorations. Tried to include me. Jamie was in the background. He looked at the screen for 3 seconds. Saw my face, half human, half crystal. Saw my left eye, completely translucent. Seeing him but not quite looking right because crystal doesn't move like human tissue moves. He looked away. Rachel ended the call. I'm still holding the recorder. Still documenting. Still doing my job because that's all I have left. My left arm is moving right now. As I dictate this, it's reaching toward the recorder, toward the sound of my voice, toward anything human. I'm fighting it, locking my shoulder, keeping it still. But it wants to move. It always wants to move. The human parts of me are getting weaker. 58% crystal means 42% human. And the human parts don't get stronger, don't get enhanced. Just get tired from fighting, from resisting, from staying in control. How long can I keep fighting? How long before the percentage tips? Before my body has more crystal than human? Before I lose the fight permanently and become like Tommy? Aware but powerless, watching through crystal eyes as my body does things I don't want it to do. Medical Tent 7. Subject 04. Derek Holloway. Age 43. Safety Inspector. 58% crystallization. Infection status, stable. Prognosis, permanent. Control status, deteriorating. That last part's new. They added it last week after Rodriguez lost control of his arm for 6 hours. Control status, deteriorating. Because we're all losing. Slowly. But we're losing. I had a son named Jamie. I have a son named Jamie. Present tense because he's alive. Because he's clean. Because he got out of the quarantine zone without crystal in his wounds. But I'm not his father anymore. Not really. I'm something that used to be Derek Holloway. Something that's 58% other. Something fighting against itself. Something that waves with a human hand during video calls while a crystal arm strains against restraints trying to reach through the screen. The reports keep coming. More incidents. More formations. The crystalline organisms aren't isolated to Utah. They're everywhere humans drill into ancient salt. Everywhere we break seals that should stay sealed. Everywhere we think we can extract resources without consequences. And we keep drilling. We keep breaking seals. We keep making more people like me. I close my eyes. One human eye, one crystal. And I see Jamie's face in the car window as Rachel drove away. That's the moment that stays. That's the unforgettable image. My son watching his father choose duty over family. Watching his father become something that waves goodbye with a human hand while a crystal arm tries to grab him. That's the moment I replay every night in Medical Tent 7 while fighting to keep my own body still. While listening to the others fight their crystal limbs. While hearing Vic on the intercom talking to nobody because talking proves he's still human. That's the moment I'll carry for whatever counts as the rest of my life. I'm putting down the recorder now. My left arm is moving again. Reaching. I have to focus. Have to lock the shoulder. Have to stay in control. Because the moment I stop fighting, the moment I lose control, I become what Tommy became. What Vic became. What Rodriguez is becoming. Passenger. Aware but powerless. Watching my body spread infection. Watching my crystal hands grab people. Watching my crystal legs walk toward my son's school. Watching through crystal eyes that see everything but can't stop anything. I am 58% crystallized. 42% human. And the human parts are losing. Every day the human parts are losing. Every day I fight to stay me. Fight to keep control. Fight against my own enhanced limbs that don't tire, don't hurt, don't stop trying to spread. And every day I lose a little more of the fight. Safety inspector's final report. Do not drill the deep salt. The formations are not empty. The ancient cavities are not safe. The organisms within are not dormant. They are waiting, patient. And when you break the seal, they will transform you. Make you stronger. Make you better. Make you a prisoner in your own body watching through crystal eyes as your enhanced limbs spread infection to everyone you love. There is no cure. No treatment. No reversal. Only transformation. Only fighting. Only the slow loss of control 1 percentage point at a time. Report submitted. Evidence documented. Warning issued. They'll ignore it. They always do. The salt is profitable and the risk is acceptable, and somewhere right now another crew is drilling deeper into formations that should remain sealed forever. Another Derek is about to choose between family and containment. Another son is about to watch his father turn into something that waves goodbye with a human hand. Another person is about to become a prisoner in a crystal body that wants to spread. Medical Tent 7 visiting hours ended at 8. No one visits anymore. Rachel tried once. They made her watch through containment glass. She saw me fighting my own arm. Saw it break free from restraints. Saw me screaming at my own limb to stop moving while guards hit it with shock batons. She left crying. Hasn't requested another visit. I don't blame her. I wouldn't want to see this either. Wouldn't want to watch someone I used to love fight against their own body. Wouldn't want to see the moment they lose. The moment the crystal takes over permanently. The moment the person inside becomes a passenger forever. I'm still fighting. Still Derek. Still in control of most of me. But the crystal parts are winning. Slowly. Inevitably. Patiently. And when I finally lose, when my body has more crystal than human, when my limbs stop listening to my brain, when I become a passenger trapped in enhanced tissue that wants only to spread, I'll still be aware. Still conscious. Still me. Just not in control anymore. Just watching. Just screaming inside where nobody can hear. Forever. End report.